Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Could you please say who you are and what your position is?
Hi, I'm Dr. Dil Uswate, the principal at Rocky Ridge Elementary School.
Thank you for doing this interview. So these are just a few questions about curriculum and how you choose to do it with your school. How do you maintain horizontally and vertically integrated curriculum with increasing rigorous, relevant academic challenges for all students?
All right. So a big part of what we do as administrators is making sure there's time to do all of that collaboration. So like one of the things that we do is we set up a regular meeting schedule. And as you know, once a week is designated specifically for collaboration, where we have either a math meeting, a reading meeting, PST, or other. And during that time, that's where we do a lot of the grade level collaboration, that's in line with one of those subjects, or STEAM as well. So that's where we do a lot of the grade level collaboration. Now, as opposed, when you think about the vertical collaboration, that doesn't always happen as much as we would like to be honest with you, Hannah, but that's where the coaches come into play, where they know the progressions and they can see what's happening from grade level to grade level to make suggestions on, we need to tweak this a little bit because, fourth grade is having a tough time with division of fractions. We need to work on that a little bit more in third grade. Having said that, we also have data meetings. So last week, for example, we had a data meeting where each grade level was able to see how those students did the year before and what were their areas of weakness. So to some degree, there was a little bit of vertical that way, but not in the true sense I think we would like educators to work. And that is truly vertical, kindergarten with first grade with second grade. We have room to grow in that area.
Awesome. Thank you. How are teachers involved in those curriculum decisions with feedback and is it any more than the meetings that you just discussed?
Yeah, so obviously we have the meetings where a big part of the decision happens, but they also have a planning meeting. So you know that every week you either have a math planning meeting or a reading planning meeting. That's where a lot of the curriculum decisions are being made between the teachers and then the coach to facilitate those discussions. Another big time where it's possible for teachers to be a part of the decision making is when we have been working on things at a district level, like the district pacing guide, the district report card. So they're always looking for teachers to have an opportunity for leadership to be a part of some of those bigger picture curriculum decision making.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, and how do you assess instructional programs? I know we just got a lot of new curriculum last year and this year with activities and materials. How do you assess to see that they are adequate and okay to use in your school?
Are we talking about the materials or how the teachers are using the materials?
How do you assess the programs? So like benchmarking and visions, how do you assess those?
And assess them in the sense of choosing them for the programs that we were using?
Yes.
Okay, great question. So the answer to that question is I didn't do a lot of the choice making for those programs. That's where I love working in such a big district where we had people who really knew a lot about math or reading to look at the plethora of tools possible for our district to use. And then they studied it very deeply to make those decisions. And of course, on every one of those teams, there was always representation of teachers, administration, parents. So I feel really good knowing that there was a group of people that very deeply evaluated those programs. Now, in terms of my own evaluation, in terms of implementation, the programs also have different checklists of things to look for when I go and look at an observation to see, how the teacher is using the actual program. So that's helpful. And I guess at the end of the day, I'll be able to know much better if this was a good program or not if it shows up in the data. If our students do horribly this year, and not being a COVID year, and we've just adopted a new reading curriculum, then I'm going to probably guess it has something to do with our new reading curriculum, in which case there might be a motion to change something up.
I didn't realize the parents were the stakeholders in that meetings too.
Yes. Anytime, and that's actually a required state law, is typically to have your multiple stakeholders when it comes to making decisions about the curriculum purchases.
Awesome. Okay, and I think you touched on that a little bit, diagnostic tools that you use to assess the improvement, talking about how we would next year do that. And then technology, the big part of how is technology infused into the curriculums that we just use, which I know some of it I use how do you use it at an administrative level? Because I know how the teachers would use it, but do you use technology? Does it show up in the data, anything like that?
So are you asking, like, do I use technology for my own job as administrator? Is that the question?
In the curriculum, these are all curriculum for like benchmark. So in technology that I use with Envisions is they use their Chromebooks to submit lessons to me. Is there anything technology-wise on a district level or administrator level?
Not so much for the two programs. Of course, we have access to all the same materials as the teachers do, but there isn't like an admin dashboard that we would use for benchmarks or for Envision. What we do have access to and we use quite a bit is iReady. So we use iReady for the purpose of tracking student growth and performance, and of course we can drill down to see how kids are doing in both of those subjects by different categories. So that's an admin tool that we use with, I guess, respect to instruction. It's not so much the curriculum piece, though.
And I like, too, on the teacher side, it shows each kid individually where you can do to grow with their plan of different, like my after-school tutoring kids. I can see exactly what they need to work on, and it shows me lessons.
You're talking about iReady.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
What is your greatest difficulty of your position regarding anything curriculum?
Greatest difficulty. Ooh, getting everything in, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously we want our kids to know the math and reading. That's obvious. But as a STEM school, we've added the extra layer of wanting to make learning hands-on, fun, integrated, and meaningful. So that we're not just teaching in silos of math and reading, but to bring it all together. So that's challenging, to always help teachers to bring it all together and not just to think, here's what I'm going to do for math, here's what I'm going to do for reading, but to also choose things within those programs that help to bridge subjects together.
Okay, well, thank you. That was all the questions. Okay. And thank you for, on behalf of JSU, doing an interview with us. Thank you. I know I wasn't all the way in it, but I'm in here. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.